Hey everybody. So it is Jan and of Jan and Monica. And we're supposed to be Jan and Monica here today. And you just get me today, which is what I'm actually going to talk about today. So, welcome to the Rich Relationship Live, where it is myself and Monica bringing you all sorts of stories, lessons, coaching, everything that we think may be of value to you in order to help you have a rich relationship, in order to help you create a life that you love. In order for you to experience maximum joy, maximum happiness, and not to be experiencing any sort of self inflicted suffering in your head, which you may or may not be experiencing. So, you're going to hear us, for those of you who know who we are. The rich relationship may be a new conversation for you. It's a new conversation for us. So after working for years with people in life coaching, relationship coaching, business coaching, we really wanted to focus. We really wanted to focus in order to identify what's the way that we can make the biggest impact on the planet. And there's this expression a jack of all trades, but master of none. We can work with people on so many different things and provide value in so many different ways, but that wasn't allowing us to make the global impact that we wanted to. And so we were really thinking about what's made the biggest difference in our lives. And the first one is working on ourselves and our relationship. And it's tools from spiritual psychology that we have learned that have supported us in really getting our stuff, our past, and our baggage, and anything that's weighing us down out of our minds and our hearts in order to be our happiest, most authentic selves and most kind and loving selves. But then also some basic tools about finances that we learned, that we trained in and got certified in, that have made such a difference in our lives. And we combined both of those two, kind of like a Reese's peanut butter moment where we took our peanut butter and our chocolate. We were doing our finance, our profit first coaching and our relationship coaching, and we combined them in order to solve what is one of the biggest stressors in relationships, and that's arguing about money and conversations about money and the doing money differently. And when people can learn how to navigate the conversation of money together as a team and work through it, then we have found that that allows them to kind of work through almost anything. And if that also is resulting in money in the bank, which is less stress there, and it's teaching their kids how to manage money differently, that is generational impact. And so that's really what we've been focusing on. And so we've creating a whole series of products, programs, content with the title of The Rich Relationship, because that's really what we've created in our lives. That's what we've created with so many of our clients' lives. And that's what we want to bring to the world. And rich isn't necessarily like a millionaire, a billionaire. We're not going to be showing pictures of Lamborghinis and yachts and saying you can have this. Rich is defined by you, because someone could be living on a beach in a hut in Mexico, running a shrimp taco stand, a fish taco stand, and have the experience of living a very rich life, which, by the way, that came forward for me because that sounds like a very rich life, but it doesn't necessarily mean money in the bank, although money in the bank can be very helpful. And we're big fans of that as well. So that's a little bit of the type of content that we're going to be bringing to you, and how you can be living a rich life, how you are creating and being a partner in a rich relationship. And so we're going to be going live all the time. We moved to Austin, Texas. I built this studio that I'm so excited about, that I can flip a switch and go live on. And Monica and I can go live and be with people. And I'm going to open up the chat in case anybody is saying anything or asking any questions, which, I'm a big fan of. If you wanted to do that, you can. It's not working, so I'm not going to do that right now. But I'm interested if you have any thoughts, anything you want to share, any questions. Hopefully that will pop up for me. But anyhow, that's what we're going to be bringing to you all the time. That's why we built this studio, so we could go live and we can do live coaching sessions and talk to people, answer questions, and just share stories that may be helpful. So today it was supposed to be Monica and myself talking about a subject that we had talked about. And then things happened where some Monica's time was taken doing something else, and our scheduled time went away. And now she's working with a client, and no video, no Rich Relationship Live, no Jan and Monica for the people that we had promised. And so I was frustrated and annoyed about that, because this is our commitment to ourselves, to our content, to what we're doing, and to all of you. So what do we do when we get frustrated and annoyed? So I decided to use what I did for myself as an opportunity to share with all of you. So there is a fundamental principle in spiritual psychology called seeing the loving essence. And seeing the loving essence means that you are looking through the eyes of your heart. Yes, I know our heart doesn't have any eyes, but seeing the loving essence means to look through the eyes of your heart. If your heart had eyes, almost like it's a filter. If it's going through your brain, then it's your thoughts that are assessing why things have happened and why people made choices that they've made. And if it goes through your heart, then it's going through a loving filter. And what if you could be looking at life and looking at how everything is happening for you, and all the things that are happening around you and the choices that the people in your life are making, if you could look at that through a lens of love, if you could see the loving essence in everything. And so Monica made a choice. She was taking care of some stuff for summer and our kids in camp and some things that were important at the time when we were supposed to be going live. And that annoyed me and it frustrated me, because my brain was thinking, she's not making this important. She is distracted. She is doing things that are prioritizing in the moment rather than sticking to our plan. And that's what my brain was thinking. So what I did was I stopped for a second and said, if I think this way, I'm going to be upset, and I'm going to be upset with her, which is not what I want. And it's probably not going to create any good, positive results that we want. So let me connect to my heart. And if I connect to my heart and I do seeing the loving essence, what's another way of looking at this? And another way of looking at it is that she's doing the best that she can, that she really knows how important it is to register our kids for their summer camp activities. And she's trying to make sure that our kids are really happy. And she's got a lot going on and she's juggling. And in the moment, she made a choice that to her made the most sense. And when I think about that, even if I disagree with her choice, it's hard for me to be upset with her. As a matter of fact, I'm not upset with her at all, because I see that what she did came from a loving place. It came from a heartfelt intention on her end. Even if I disagree and think, well, you know what, you could have just done that right after our live session. But it doesn't serve the relationship. And I have a choice. Do I want to be right, or do I want to be loving? And I would prefer to be loving. And I would prefer that our relationship is one without upset and conflict. And so that is the choice that I'm making. And so it provided a beautiful opportunity for me to share this lesson with you, which you're going to hear from us over and over and over again. It's a fundamental principle. It's called seeing the loving essence. And when something happens, when someone in your life, when your partner makes a choice, says something, does something that creates upset, disturbs your peace, you're like, ooh, I don't like that. That doesn't make me feel good. I'm upset. I'm annoyed. I'm frustrated. Think about, or I recommend that you can think about, what if I looked at this through the eyes of my heart? What if I used a lens of love and considered if they're truly doing the best that they can, if everything that they're doing is coming from a loving place, why might they have done this? how can I see it differently? How can I see that it had a loving intention? And if I do, then how do I relate to it? And maybe not relate to in a way of upset and frustration, but relate to in a way of gratitude that she cares so much about our kids. And she cares so much about making sure that they're registered in camp. And she cares so much and she's doing so much to try and do everything she can to keep our family happy and together and busy and who we are as a family. So that's today's conversation from Rich Relationship Live, from Jan and Monica, Jan specifically. And if you have any thoughts, if you have any questions, if you had anything you wanted to share, even if you're not watching it live, please include it in the chat. We're going to be watching it and we'll be looking at the chat, and hopefully we'll be able to see something and we'll respond to the best of our ability. And just excited to create conversation on the Jan and Monica YouTube channel and the Jan and Monica Facebook page, where we're able to provide this stuff. You know, we really were like, we need to get all of these skills, all of these tools that have made such a difference for our clients to the world. And that's why we built our studio and got all the equipment, have the ability to just do this right now. So if you want more of this, feel free to click on the notifications button. I know that they have that in YouTube. I believe they have that in Facebook as well. So whenever we go live, you get a notification. And you can also go to janandmonica.com and you can subscribe and you'll get our newsletter, our emails, and you also get notifications. And these videos sometimes email to you as well. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and we'll see you again soon.